Now, let's get to transfers then for Man City. They have now confirmed the signing of 20-year-old centre-back Abdukodir Khusanov from Lens in France. He's an Uzbekistan international, signed for a reported 33.5 million, about 40 million euros. This is an exciting sign. You think, Stephen, how excited are you that he has now joined Man City?
Well, I didn't really know who he was until we signed him, I'll be honest, until we were linked to him. But of course, I've done all the research. I've spoken to a few people who follow the French league from my channel. And to be honest, I'm quite excited by him. He looks like an absolute tank, you know. It's very obvious to me that City are recruiting a certain profile of player. I saw a stat come out recently that showed that City are by far the most generous team in the Premier League in their own box. Like there was a stat that showed the percentage of crosses that complete, for the opponents against a certain side. If you were playing against Brentford or Newcastle, it's about 20% of crosses against them are completed. So 1 in 5 crosses would find an attacker if you were playing against Brentford and Newcastle. For City, it was 35%. So over one, just slightly over 1 in 3 chances, like a percentage or two over, would result in a successful cross against us. That was by far the worst in the Premier League. So the conclusion is that it's just, look, if you have 5 crosses against City, you're going to have a couple of chances, arguably. Whereas with other teams, it's one. We're bad at defending in the box. A lot of it's been down to, I would probably argue, multiple factors. Ruben Diaz not being in the team an awful lot. John Stones not being in the team a lot due to injuries because they're both, good in the air and they're strong. Rodri not being there, who is also good in the air and strong, but also has a natural tendency to trap the runners from deep where Kovacic and Bernardo don't. And maybe having 5'5" Rico Lewis at fullback, he's not going to win the crosses, and Josko Vardiol's form dipped a bit as well, and Kyle Walker too. But I think they need physical players in there, people who love the art of defending, who are strong, aggressive, and this is where Abdukodir Khusanov comes into that. That guy, look, he has a little bit to go in terms of his pure technical ability. He's probably closer to Diaz on the ball than say Stones on the ball, and there's no shame in that because Diaz is still perfectly comfortable playing in a heavy possession system. But like Diaz, Kusanov also shares that extreme hunger for defending. He's aggressive. He is physical. He's not like the biggest guy on the pitch. He's not like 6'5" or anything like that. But he's about 6'1". But he's built like a tank. He's broad. He's physically strong, and he's fast too. He's very fast. And by all accounts, I've read quite a lot about him. His temperament is really good. He's one of those sort of silent warrior types where he doesn't say much. But what he does say he speaks loudly with his physicality and his actions, and he's risen through the ranks in a really uh, nomadic way. Like he started in Uzbekistan. He sort of let go more or less by his club over there. So he went to the Belarusian league where he was playing in front of 1,500 people, and he got a move to Lens for like 80,000 quid, which is absolutely nothing. And 18 months later, it's a remarkable story. He's getting a 33 million pound move to Man City off the back of about 30 appearances total. It's an insane risk for City at the same time as being bold. Two things can be true at the same time. It could be brilliant. It could also be ridiculous. And I am very curious to see how this goes. The only thing I'm sort of reassured by is he looks like the kind of person who will not stop at all until he proves someone wrong. There seems to be a real steely focus to him. And I think City are usually, quite good at signing these young talents. I think this is very obviously a Hugo Viana influence as well. Like it feels like the kind of signing that, look, if it wasn't City paying for it and it was Sporting instead where Viana's come from, he probably would have been 15 million instead of 30 million because that's sort of the Man City tax. And then he would have been at Sporting for 2 seasons and someone would have paid 85 million for him. It feels like that kind of, signing. But City have sort of got ahead of that a little bit and gone for it. I don't know how much he'll be involved. I think he's going to be on sort of watching duty a little bit. But that physicality, that strength, that hunger, it can take you a long way in football, especially when you're already technically good, especially when you've already got those leadership qualities that he seems to. He seems quiet, but he's strong and the kind of person you want to go to war with. So, yeah, I'm very excited for him. I think he's going to take a long time to establish himself in the City side, but that injection of hunger, I think the City side need it.